Hello, my name is Will Dean. I am the Forest Author. I'm here in my shack in Sweden. Today, I'm going to be talking about authors you should follow on Twitter. Welcome back. Are you well? I hope you're well. All good here. All good. Bar. Writing desk. Autumn. Nice. Like it. Today I want to talk about a bunch of writers who I think you should take a look at on Twitter or on social media in general. And I think you should take a look at them because they're interesting for a bunch of different reasons. So I'm going to start off with Don Winslow. Really talented author. Just seen him recently at Capital Crime in London. Brilliant new crime festival in London where he was talking to Ian Rankin. And just very thoughtful man. A very intelligent and interesting guy. His tweets, he does not hold back on Twitter. He's interesting to listen to, especially for me as a Swede now in the forest, in the Moose Forest, hearing from an American like that. And he talks about American politics in very forthright terms. Like, he's very clear and he's very direct and he's very bold. And it's interesting. Whether you agree with him or not, it's really interesting to listen to his point of view. He's good on books. He's good on recommending authors that he likes, but he's also good on life and on politics. Number 2 is Kit de Wall. Do you know Kit de Wall? You probably know her already. She's fantastic. She's just one of those very wise, kind, talented human beings. She is the author of My Name is Leon. Amazing book if you haven't read it yet. Anyway, on Twitter, she's very good. She's very generous on Twitter. She talks to and about and with a lot of people about a myriad of different subjects. She talks and listens and is very thoughtful and very interesting and very open. And I don't know, she's one of my favorite Twitterers. Next is the man talking to Don Winslow at Capital Crime, Ian Rankin. I love Ian's Twitter, and the reason is because he's just a genuine dude, you know. He's just a genuine guy. He's tweeting photos when he's in Edinburgh, taking his walk, when he's in the Oxford bar, having a pint, when he's on tour. It just comes across extremely genuine and like not photoshopped or messed around with. It's just him doing his stuff. And as one of, if not like the king of crime in the UK, it's just great to get that insight into his day-to-day through Twitter. And he's also very, very generous with books that he has enjoyed. So, yep. So follow Ian. Next is Angie Thomas, author of The Hate U Give, who's great on Twitter. She's also very bold and strong-minded and interesting and intelligent and thoughtful and thought-provoking. And I really enjoy following her. She has views, which I really like in a person. You know, she has strong views and she expresses them very, very clearly and very, very well. And I think she's a great person to learn from and to follow. Next is Mr. Stu Turton, author of The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which was a very successful book last year. I did a panel with Stu at Harrogate last year, my debut year, his debut year. We were both picked by Val McDermott, and he's just a great guy. He's actually very, very, extremely, uncommonly funny. He's just a funny guy. And also a lovely, warm, genuine person. And his Twitter, he doesn't tweet that much. But when he does, it tends to be very funny. And also very his style, very his voice. So can't wait to read his next book. I think it's coming out next year. It'll be bananas in a very good way. So follow Stu on Twitter. Next is Marianne Keyes. Marianne is like a global phenomenon. I think everybody knows Marianne Keyes. She's very big in Sweden. She's very popular here. But I think she's popular everywhere. And her Twitter is amazing. One of the best. Like, she's extremely generous and kind and warm. So warm. The warmth really comes through the screen of your phone. Like, she clearly loves people and is fascinated by human beings and the human condition. And the way she tweets is very, 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 very her. You know, the language she uses, the way she spells, the way she phrases things. It's just wonderful. It's a magical thing. It's great value. You know, the Twitter app is there for Marianne Keyes to spread her love and to spread her messages and her humor. It's brilliant. She's great. Follow her. Next is Jo Spain, who's also Irish actually, and she is really interesting. Jo is great. She's a great author, really, really cool woman, but she's also involved in the TV world, the script writing world, the screen world in a big way. So she's got multiple projects on the go at any one time, and she tweets about this. She tweets about what she's doing in this script, or what she's doing with this production over here that's just been greenlit. And if you're interested as a writer in learning about screenwriting or learning about the TV world or crossing over in some way, follow Jo Spain. She's great on that, and also just a very warm and lovely person. Next is Mr. James Oswald. I think his Twitter handle is Sir Benfro. And James is great. James is a fantastic writer. He writes in that niche of crime/supernatural so well. It's James, it's Sarah Pimbra, it is Stu Turnton, and a bunch of other people who do that really, really well. That thing, that crossover crime supernatural. And James does it very, very well. And James is based up in Scotland, and the reason I love his Twitter is writing's chat, of course, but also his cows. He has good cows. Big Highland cattle, you know, these massive horns. Good cows. He has great cows. Lots of good cow content. Also sheep, lambing, general farm stuff. He's a farmer, and if you're interested in the great outdoors, like my stuff will give you forest life, chopping wood, mushrooms, foraging, but he will give you Highland, maybe it's not the Highlands, he will give you Scottish farming like nobody else. Next up is Vaseem Khan, who is a very erudite and charming author. I think he's based in London. I'm pretty sure he's based in London. I've done an event with him. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He writes the Inspector Chopra series, which is a crime series set in India where the protagonist has a pet elephant. And if you're not into the dark side of crime, and you prefer your crime a little bit more, I wouldn't say cozy, but you're getting there, you know, then follow Vaseem. But also on Twitter, he's great. He's just a very interesting person, and he has a great dry humor. So follow Vaseem. Next is Mr. Max Porter. Don't know if you know Max of Max. He is a brilliant author. He has a real skill. He wrote Grief is the Thing with Feathers, which is a short book, just an incredibly powerful book about grief and loss and dealing with stuff as a human. And he has incredible way with words and an incredible agility and flexibility with language. Like he'll do things that other authors don't do, and he seems to break through the binds and the norms that we're kind of that hold other authors back, and he does what he wants and it works. And he's just a great guy. He's very funny, and he's one of these guys who's just got a huge amount of talent and no ego. Or it seems that way anyway. I've never met him, but on Twitter he just comes across as the most nice guy in the world. Like he's just a very nice guy. He's funny. He has his quirks and he has his eccentricities, and he writes his tweets very, very nicely. Like his language within his tweets is really, really good. Like obviously, and he's just a good guy to follow. Like I read a tweet from him recently where he took a dip in a river. Not a big deal, but he wrote it in such a way, it was like, wow, that's made my day. Reading those 140 words or whatever it is, 140 characters, made my day, because he just wrote it so well, and it had a very clear and powerful impact on me. Next is a guy you probably haven't heard of. He's new to writing, but I think he might do really well. His name is Stephen King. And Stephen King is great on Twitter. Like he shows his dog the what's he call it? The creature of evil, the thing of evil, something like that. It's not very evil looking. And he's involved in politics, like in a similar way to Don Winslow a little bit. But he also just talks about books, TV shows that he loves. It just gives you an insight into his life as a writer, as a reader. And, you know, it's Stephen King, guys. Like, you probably follow him already, but if you don't, give him a follow. He's just really, really interesting. You can glean a lot from him as a reader, as a writer. There's 1,000 other people I can recommend to you, and I will do in future videos, but they are a few people that I recommend you follow to help you feel like you're inside that book world as well. If you're a fan, or if you're an unagented writer looking for representation, follow those people. And I will see you soon in the next video. Please do hit like and subscribe. I'll try and get Bernie in here next time as well. I feel like he's lacking. I feel like he should be on my lap. Maybe I'll share some photos with him on my knee. But Bernie is well. Monty is also well. Hope you're well. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.